Lockdown Level 4. Are evictions allowed? The easing of the rigorous lockdown rules that governed us for 5 weeks was met with rejoicing by most South Africans, particularly those with dogs and athletes who were missing their daily runs or cycle rides. More business categories are now deemed essential, and some people have been able to return to work, albeit under very strict conditions. Most normal daily activities remain prohibited or restricted, but new rules were announced on the 7th of May in the Government Gazette 43293, allowing the movement of persons and goods under certain conditions. This includes moving house. Let's look at what you, whether you are a tenant or a landlord, can and can't do under Level 4. Now, moving house. As of 7th of May up until 7 June, you may move to a new property, provided the lease was signed before or during the lockdown period, or the transfer of the property was completed before the lockdown. This includes movement across provincial borders. Furthermore, you may use public transport to effect the relocation, following all other directives that apply, like wearing of masks. Now, you must have a permit. If you qualify under these directions, you must secure a permit from your local police station, indicating the household members who are relocating. To obtain the permit, you must present your lease or transfer documents, as detailed below. You must travel with all relevant documents in your possession. Rent. If the lease has expired and the tenant is unable to relocate immediately, they must continue to pay rent, and the lease becomes a month-to-month lease. However, if a tenant is having difficulty paying rent, whether the lease was expired or is ongoing due to loss of income, TPN Credit Bureau has created a rental recovery pack containing all the documents needed to negotiate a payment holiday and repayment plan with the landlord. Landlords placed in difficulty with bond payments due to a loss of rental income should contact their lenders. Almost all South African banks have relief packages in place to help borrowers. What about evictions? Here's where there has been some movement. The moratorium on evictions introduced at the beginning of the lockdown, Level 5, although we didn't know that term then, remains. No one can be evicted from their home under Level 4. However, an application for an eviction order may be brought before the courts, which are now able to hear cases and grant eviction orders. Sheriff services have resumed. The deeds office is open and consultations related to evictions will take place. Therefore, an attorney is permitted to prepare an order for eviction, which may be granted during Level 4. However, the order is suspended and cannot be executed until the last day of Level 4. At this point, we do not know when that is. It is also important to pay close attention to official information that accompanies the announcement of Level 3. Although we currently understand that evictions will be lawful under Level 3, we've seen already that the final regulations may vary considerably from the draft or anticipated rules. Be like a Boy Scout. Be prepared. If you are a landlord with outstanding tenant issues and you were intending to commence or had already commenced eviction proceedings prior to 27 March, now would be a good time to consult with an eviction attorney and prepare your case. You will not be able to complete the process until such time as evictions are again permitted, but you will beat the rush that is sure to ensue when a ban is lifted. We anticipate the courts will be busier than usual, as many matters have been put on hold, so you could wait a while to have your case heard. If the grounds for eviction are non-payment of rent prior to lockdown or not caused by it, then you will delay even further the time when you legally replace your non-tenant with a paying one. Don't be in a hurry to evict good tenants. If your tenant has previously been fully compliant with the lease agreement and has always paid rent on time, but has defaulted on rent payments due to the lockdown, we urge you to take a more sympathetic stance. Allow the tenant time to negotiate a plan with you. You may even consider waiving a month's rent, as many landlords have voluntarily done. As recession bites, rental yields will be subdued, even if demand for properties is present. If it takes a month or two to find a new tenant, that is lost income, and you may find you have to drop the rent to attract tenants. Better to accept an equivalent loss of income from a good tenant than to expose yourself to the unknown. The advice of an eviction lawyer is essential for landlords and tenants alike. SDLAW and Associates are specialists in rental housing and eviction law. If you are a landlord and need help navigating these uncharted waters, we can provide expert assistance. If you're a tenant and worried about your current situation, we will look into your case and advise you of your rights and your best course of action. You can contact me on 086 099 5146 or by email.